What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be talking about the trade targets, the best trade targets for round 13. So first things first, we're going to start with the back line, and the first guy we're going to talk about is Blake Hardwick. Now, one thing to note with all these trade targets, I'm only discussing people that have had their buy. There's no point trading in a premium that hasn't had their buy yet. So Blake Hardwick, he is averaging the 97 with a 3-round average of 101.7. Pretty consistent. I think he could be a good D6 option and takes all the kick-ins of Hawthorn, which is good for his scoring. So would I pick Hardwick? I probably would rather someone else if you really want to go full primo. But if you're looking for a semi-budget option, I mean, he's still 500k, but he's a little bit cheap for the premiums. So I'd probably consider Hardwick, but definitely not my best trade target. So the thing with the backline this week is there's not a lot of great options. So if you can, try and avoid upgrading on the backline for this week, because the next one we're going to talk about is Jack Bowes. So with him, his scoring potential is definitely there. The 146, 114, 95, and then 107. Started off like a house on fire and then really dropped off after that, besides the game against Collingwood. The problem was that Rosich went from the wing or the forward flank to the back line and has taken a lot of his scoring. They prefer to go out through Rosich than Bowes, so it's really hurt his scoring, and he's lost kick-ins for whatever reason, similar to Ridley. They've just lost their kick-in role. I don't know why, but yeah, coaches tend to change things up, so I think it actually might be a little bit risky picking players based on their kick-ins, because you just know coaches could just throw a spanner in the wheel and just change everything. It's we can't really do anything about that as well. It's literally uncontrollable. Alright, so moving on to the midfield. Unfortunately, they're the only two defenders we're going to talk about. So the first guy we're going to talk about is Matt Rowell. So Rowell's got a huge ceiling, obviously. If we look at his 2020 scores, 80, 171, 141, 114. The potential is obviously there. The thing with Rowell is he has a very high break-even due to his score of 6 in round 1. So I probably wouldn't grab him this week, but if you are looking for a discounted mid, I mean, you know what? It's not even out of his reach to break that. He could genuinely crack 200. Like, he's that good. But I think we wait till Rowell has at least one price drop. I think it'll be a drop. Even if he pumps out a couple of 120s, he still should go down a little bit of money. But definitely keep your eye on Matt Rowell, because for me it's a bit tricky because I've already got a full premium midfield, but he's a great M8 option, genuine 120 plus average potential. Hopefully his body's fit. But yeah, he's a superstar, Matt Rowell. Next guy we're going to talk about is Tuke Miller. So I actually don't even want to talk about him. He's my last midfield upgrade, and he's a major pod, only in the 2% of teams. And just look at his scores. So I'm pretty sure he stopped tagging after round 3. I think he went to Cali round 1. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's stopped tagging, and ever since then he's gone 132, 96, 146, 115, 115, 133 and a 153. He's in some unbelievable form, coming off the bye. He's going to be fully fit to tackle the second half of the year, and I'm really happy with him. Genuine vice-captain option now that he's not tagging. He's just a stat pad. He's similar to McRae, tackles a lot. Really got a SuperCoach friendly style of play and role, which is handy for our teams. Plays Freo next, should go huge against them. I don't see him getting tagged ever. If they're going to tag, they're probably going to go to Rowell. I don't see opposition teams seeing Tuke Miller as a damaging player, even though he is. I don't see him getting the recognition, and that's another big factor with trading in Tuke Miller is I don't think he'll be tagged, which means consistent scoring for our teams. His fixture, so he's got Freo should go big against them. Port, I reckon, he'll go big. Lots of tackles. North, he'll dominate. Richmond, he'll dominate. And the Giants, I reckon, he'll dominate as well. So Bulldogs and Melbourne, Brisbane, they'll be a hard 3 games. But these next 5 or so games, he's going to really go off. So definitely my number 1 option for this week is Tuke Miller. However, he is obviously expensive. Next guy we'll talk about is Tom Mitchell. So Mitchell's been a bit of a roller coaster this year. 542k, had his bye now. Maybe he just needed a week off to rest, and now he's going to have a huge second half of the year. I mean, we know what this man's capable of. He's obviously won a Brownlow. And that Brownlow year, if we look at it real quick, look at the numbers. 167, 148, 149, 90, 75, 126, 127, 72, 155, 116, 135, 136, 106, 181, 79. And then these last 6 or so games, he went berserk. 192, 159, 150, 153, 102, 108, 114. So he's obviously got the scoring potential and the scoring history. It's just a matter of if SuperCoach wants to give him points. It's really weird with Mitchell because it feels like he plays well, but he just doesn't score. And that wasn't the case in 2018. The thing I'm thinking is 2018 was 3 years ago, and I think the scoring has changed a little bit, and it's not in Mitchell's favour. I'm not sure what they've tweaked with it, but I've got a feeling that something has changed with the scoring, and Mitchell just isn't scoring like he used to. He's still got that big ceiling, but he's needing like nearly 50 touches to crack 140. It's really annoying for Mitchell owners, especially people who started with him for 600k or whatever he was. It's got to be frustrating. Got a couple of easy games coming up. Sydney will be tough, but Essendon and Jeddah West should go nicely against them. Port Freo. Yeah, I think he's a good option still. Would I bring him in? I would. I don't have the luxury anymore to trade in a mid because obviously I'm full primo on the midfield, but definitely would bring in Tom Mitchell if I had the opportunity. Next guy I'll talk about is Josh Kelly from the Giants. Now, everything's all good with Josh Kelly. Pretty much a good price to pick him up. The only question mark is Leon Cameron. Will he change his role? He plays North this week. Genuine 200 potential game. I think he's gone 200 against North before. I could be wrong. I know he's gone 200. I can't remember who it was against. Let's just have a look real quick. Was it this year? He had a 195 against Richmond. 2019. There is an injury risk with Kelly, I will admit. 2018, he had a 205 against Carlton. Okay. But yeah, he could go huge against North. He plays Carlton next, if that makes anything better. And then Hawthorn. So 3 very easy, winnable games for the Giants. And should probably go huge against... Hawthorn might be tough, but North and Carlton are pretty useless. And I'm a Carlton supporter, so... frustrating times. But anyway... definitely bring in Josh Kelly because look at his scoring. I mean, 122, 102, 132, 111, 129 since he had that midfield role. The question is, does he keep the midfield role? We know Leon Cameron likes to change things up, similar to Luke Beveridge. The thing is, I think Kelly, they've recognised now, he's a gun midfielder. I mean, I don't know why it took him so long to realise that. But he's a midfielder playing where he belongs. Don't play him on the forward flank. Like, what are you doing, you idiots? And the last player we're going to talk about is the only player on the forward line, and that is Aaron Hall. So this is presuming you have Jack Zeeble and Jarman Impey like most teams do. Put him into a hashtag. So Aaron Hall, 502k. He's a little bit expensive for what he could have been. I got him for about 400 odd, I think. 5 an average of 111, 3 an average of 112. You know, you take out those 2 injury games, and he's really having a great year. A really, really great year. I'm willing to take the risk on him at this point, even still, 500k. I think he could genuinely get to 600k before we know it. He's got the perfect role for SuperCoach, just playing backline, him and Zeeble. Obviously, Hall has taken some points off Zeeble, but at the same time, Zeeble is still scoring well enough, and they look for each other a lot. If you watch North play, they're always looking for each other. I don't know what it is, but it's like they've got each other in their teams, so I don't know. But they're great for our teams. And definitely Hall is someone you need to consider with the little forward options we have. I mean, Bailey Dale's one I would like. The thing is with him, we don't have the opportunity to trade him in due to his bye this week. So it would be stupid to trade Bailey Dale in. Unless you have 18 already. It depends on your team, I guess. Everything's situational. But for me, I personally wouldn't bring in a primo that hasn't had their bye yet. Like I said at the start of the video. But yeah, Aaron Hall... definitely look to bring him in. If you don't have him yet, I think he's a genuine top 3 or 4 forward lock. I think it'll be Zorko, Zeeble, and Hall. That'll be the top 3 forwards. One player we're going to talk about is Patrick Dangerfield, and he's had his bye. I don't think he comes back this week. If he does, it's good because we need him to have his first price drop. So he's played the 2 games, averaging 83. Sorry guys, video cut out again. I'm not sure why. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Definitely keep an eye on Dangerfield. We'll bring him in eventually. Hopefully as our last forward, but it needs to come down in price first. But yeah, that's it for the upgrades for round 13. Good luck this week if you don't see me from here on out, but I'm sure you will if you subscribe to the channel. If you're new and haven't subbed yet, please do, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.